I like the other one. Oh no.
Do you like my hair?
My cat. My cat.
Car.
My cat.
My cat.
The car.
The cat.
D. So, I think we have a new goal now.
Chris Pratt is trending. He's so cool.
Isn't that what they said in the direct?
It is.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
Look at how
Anyway.
it's trending after it's been like so long since it.
Yeah, it's been like at least 3 weeks.
I'm going to assume he's trending for a different reason, but I just noticed he's trending.
He's cool.
He's so cool.
I like that hair.
Anyway, as you can tell by my new profile picture, there's a new goal for the engine, which is to make Tails as cute as he is in my profile picture.
Oh, it's tied to the hair color.
Okay, I just got an email. It was like, Amazon wants to update you about your delivery. I'm like, I didn't fucking order anything on Amazon.
A bomb.
I was really concerned for a second, but then I opened it up and it's that the Sonic Encyclopedia. I'm like, oh yeah.
Forgot about that thing.
It comes out this month, and I want to get that. I need to make sure I've got money for that.
It'll be arriving at my place at December 7th, which I will be back home for. I just realized you changed your name, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
What do you change his name?
He's actually Tails now. The real Tails for real.
I'm actually Tails.
Like, for real times.
Don't you know? Can't you tell by my profile picture? Literally the cutest Tails I've ever seen.
It is adorable.
We have to put that in the game now. Tails doesn't look like that in the final product. Oh.
If Tails doesn't look like this, I'm gonna scream.
Tails, if you don't look like this in a game, we're gonna have to go. God, it sounded creepy. We did it. We do have like some things to show off.
Yeah, I've got some things. Not a whole lot though.
Like 2.
I did things.
Which is fine.
Yeah, you've done things. Like I haven't done anything though, so.
Like 2.
I mean, something I'm misremembering.
That's me misinputting.
Misinput.
Yes, we do. Was it misinput?
Yes, we are.
Oh God.
Our last dev stream was on the 18th. We've done quite a few things. Added new particles, a new function, added cycle feature to cannons, changes to the homing tracking, some level changes in small debug patch, level changes, new stuff, added new sound effects and mesh edits, rocket, updated particles, create a crate stuff. Orange rocket fix. Shrink bug in theory, hopefully.
Just a theory.
Well, I did push that change, but I thought you
I didn't put it back to my knowledge. To my knowledge, I did not revert it.
Okay.
Because like with it plugged in, it still didn't even do what it was supposed to, so I just left it unplugged.
Yeah.
Added changes to allow jumping while flying. Oh, right.
I can explain that.
Added ability to jump on lock splines. Fixes to. How you doing today, Supersonic? Hope you're having a good day. Alrighty, yeah, we actually have quite a few things we can show off this stream.
Wait, Supersonic? How's Chaos doing? Did you neutralize him?
Ha. 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 You are very funny.
You are so funny, Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
How could we be funny like you?
It is funny joke. Alright.
I disagree with you. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Don't you know?
To get started, I blew up Malaysia.
That's a
Yeah.
good start right there.
How's it going, Fabio? I did something, according to this, I did something with the magenta rhythm notes. But I don't know what that was.
Wasn't that the thing with the splines or whatever?
I did that. I made these quite a long while ago. Apparently I did something to update their interactions, but I couldn't tell you what it is. It's been a very long 2 weeks. Alright, I guess we can go over your stuff real quick, Reese, in case you have to get going. It says you added new particles and new object function.
New particles and new object function. Which one was that again?
I think it was the Crimson Ring. Crimson Eagle Ring.
Oh, most likely.
Ah, yes, the portals to hell.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to do a particle and it just wouldn't work the way I wanted it to work. So that's.
Oh yeah, I remember you being harsh on yourself about that.
Yes, and I was asking for help, and I never got help.
So we have some new particles for the Crimson Eagle dash rings.
Not final.
They're not final, but they look really cool.
They look
Like
very
Chris Pratt.
fluffy. Chris Pratt.
Very cool.
He's so cool.
Oh yeah, debug room layout has been slightly tweaked.
Yep.
Slightly.
Just slightly.
Where is anything? God.
Everything's gone.
So the Crimson Eagle dash rings have been updated. Now they look cool.
Yes, they also make.
They also make a sound effect.
Sound effect and an animation when you go through them.
Yep.
Choo, choo.
Like
Sweet.
so. Use that particle on some Doom music in this game of the year.
But journalists won't be able to play it.
Oh, should we explain, seeing how I was the one to discover it and fix it, the whole shrinking problem for people?
No.
Just, it's a kind of simple thing to explain.
I'm kidding. We could show it.
I couldn't actually get it to be recreated, Reese. But...
Well, I could recreate it perfectly every time.
okay.
Essentially, the TLDR for it is, if you, in a sequenced area, fell onto an object that has been scaled, like these ramps, because they're scaled to be bigger, there was a node which was grabbing the scale of the object that you stood on, and then applying it to the capsule, but it didn't apply it straight away. It didn't actually physically change the capsule height or anything until you unloaded the area and loaded back into another area. Then it kind of snapped itself and updated itself. And that was, as far as I can tell, the main reason why sometimes when you're running around in the project, Sonic will just shrink, or any of the characters will just shrink. It's literally if you just fall onto an object that's been scaled. But I found out where it was doing it. I unplugged it, and as far as we know so far, it hasn't happened again. It's fixed. We hope.
Fixed TM.
Yes, fixed pending.
We're just waiting for it to fuck up again.
Hopefully, which is weird because the code that was plugged in that was potentially causing the bug to occur, it doesn't actually work. What the code was supposed to do is every time you would land, it would check to see if the actor you landed on was a physics object, or if its root component had physics enabled. And if it did, it would attach you to that object.
Yep.
And whenever you attach one object to another, you have to determine whether to inherit the object's scale, location, and rotation and stuff like that. Basically, you got to determine what the transform of the attached actor will be relative to the actor that it's being attached to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because it should only be working with physics object, but it was working anyway.
Yeah, it was just doing it with everything. It's just kind of weird how like it took us this long to really figure out the problem. Like, I was running around, and it happened to me a few times while I was redesigning the level layout here a bit, and I was like, for frick's sake, I'm gonna find this out. And then I spent the rest of the day looking into it, and
Spent 3 gadgets it.
yeah, like I had a hunch that it was the capsule all along. Like it was something like the most route of like the most furthest down the route you could possibly go with the components list, because everything shrunk. I noticed like Sonic would go wide sometimes instead of like just completely shrinking, and it all had to do with how you scaled the object that you landed onto. So I put it in the debug menu, looked at the capsule height dynamically, and then it changed, and I'm like, I found it. I cracked the code, and then went on a mad hunt to see exactly why it was happening. Found it, patched it, and by patch it I mean gutted the code.
You remember Wide Omega?
Yes. Wide Omega.
This is him now. Too old yet?
If you old yet.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure I have that screenshot somewhere. It's probably not on this computer. But
it's on the Discord, like miles up the chat log now. But
a long while ago when we discovered, well, we didn't discover the bug. The bug had been around since longer than that. But we had activated the bug accidentally back when we were working on 3 and Knuckles with the Seaside Hill, and we was playing around with Omega. Because we don't have Omega in the engine, but we have like
we have like
skeleton
an actor in, and I threw a couple of walking animations in because I was bored one day.
Just for fun. Like, we don't have any
Just
intention of adding
walking
Omega,
around.
but it was kind of one of those just for fun things.
Yeah.
And we accidentally activated the bug, and Omega's mesh went really wide. Like the wide Putin meme.
Yeah, it was really wide meme. And with the walk animation that he had as well, it was perfect.
Wyness
Now that you're updating
achieved.
stage objects, I have a question. Dash ramps can have an option of having 4 types of ramps: small angle, low angle, high angle, big slow angle, and big high angle. You dynamically set the angle how you want.
There's already like a widget thing you can move around for that.
Yeah, with pre-calculated dash ramps, you can set the angle to be whatever you want. Like, I'm pretty sure this dash ramp on the right is not using a pre-calculated angle. I'm sorry, this dash ramp on the left is not using one, but the dash ramp on the right is.
Yeah, because it's more of an arc with the quick ramp one.
Yep. So if I went into the editor, you can see that arrow indicates that there is a pre-calculated, or it's not a pre-calculated angle, but
it's just roughly seeing where you're going.
Yep, this right here produces an arc that the character launches. So you can already like dynamically set launch arcs and stuff for ramps, as well as springs. Springs can do the same thing as well. Like these springs over here use pre-calculated launch trajectories.
Oh yeah,
Stuff like
I haven't
that.
done any work pretty much besides this stuff, so I haven't actually done any of the HUD stuff. I just saw they asked about the Unleashed HUD. I have not done
We
that
laser
yet.
focused.
Yeah, no, we've not messed with the HUDs. I kind of decided to go on a binge in creating objects, because we have a list of stage objects we wanted to create. The next thing that you worked on, Reese, was the crates, actually.
Yes, me and Emmanuel. It's still not 100% done though, because I think Emmanuel's got some updated code you want to work on for them.
There's a lot of things that needs to be done with them. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's the beginning of it though.
It's the beginning. It's very rudimentary.
Yeah.
Since I'm like the guy who did all the hitboxes and common stuff for the enemies, I will work on objects and making them compatible with hitboxes and getting hurt and crunching and stuff. But it's very rudimentary.
So essentially, the crates can be destroyed now.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they have variable health. Like the metal crates have more health. Some of the crates cannot be destroyed at all, like the super metal one, and they bounce you back now. No, they can't be either. It's very basic right now. They just push you back if you hit them. Meaning, if you jump on a crate right now, it pushes you back. Also,
Kind of
Reese
do
was
that.
saying that, like, in the games, that's how they worked. And I'm like, but what if you want to jump on them? Like, if you want to have crates that you can stand on? So,
Yeah,
being
no.
able to...
It's like sometimes you can jump on them and bounce off them. Unless what we do is the heroes crate, it doesn't happen with that, but the colours crate, you can, like, bounce off them.
I mean, the easiest way to do it is just to have an option in like the prop setting that just says, "Hey, like, do you want to ignore the
Yeah.
jump hitbox or not?" Because if
Yeah,
you ignore
like,
the jump
we can
hitbox,
have
you
that
won't
as
have the
a-
issue.
Yeah, we can have that as an option anyway, but like just to make a difference between the 06 color, like, wooden crate and the heroes wooden crate. We could just make it so the 06 one you bounce off just natively, and the
Yeah.
heroes one you can just jump on top of.
Yeah, we could do something like that. And also, it would be useful because imagine when you grab them in silver, if you want to make platforms out of them, maybe you probably don't want to. You probably want to be able to turn them off. Also,
I'm not gonna lie, I stopped paying attention to what you guys were saying.
it's just nerd stuff.
Yeah, it's just stuff.
Supersonic, if we do end up getting a hold of other ramp meshes, it'll more than likely just be a mesh swap. We probably won't, like, create different ramps or create different attributes for the ramps.
I can't think of many other different types of ramps besides the classic ones that you walk off.
Oh, there's also the SA2 ones where you jump. Like
Oh,
also
the
they're
wide,
in
like,
generation.
panel
Yeah,
one. Yeah, the wide
Yeah.
panel one.
when you think about it, they're they are kind of like QTEs. Also, like you press them at a certain time, you get height. So
Oh, you're
theory,
those.
yeah, those. They're also in generation.
Those are the yellow ones. We got them. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
but
like the
you
really
have to
wide
press the.
panels.
I'm talking about like you have to press the button though when you jump on, or else nothing happens.
Okay.
That
What
is all.
else did I do? Well, obviously I did slight level tweaks. I was just kind of moving stuff around a bit more and trying to clean up the debug room a little bit here and there.
Don't know where anything is.
I removed all of the enemies from outside and put them in the combat room for once, so you know there's less stuff loading immediately.
Yep, all the enemies.
So, Emmanuel,
combat room.
all of the enemies now live in the combat room, okay? No more enemies in the overworld phase.
Okay.
I moved all of the objects inside of that box there, just so then they don't load in immediately when you launch into the debug room. Yep. Kept the rings there though, because
rings.
You gotta touch the rings as soon as you load in.
If you don't grab rings the moment you start playing, then what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. That's just a bunch of meshes that were just imported.
Yep.
It's just where they live while I was testing materials and stuff. Was there anything else I did with the objects? I don't believe there was.
No, I don't think so.
No. Oh, there's the meshes for the notes, the magenta notes exist now.
Yes.
And they have an animation as well. They have like a little bobbing animation.
They do.
But like that is the mesh from Lost World.
Oh yeah.
I honestly didn't realize they were a mesh. I always thought they were just literally like a sphere in Lost World. I thought they were just a dot. Nope. But I was misinformed. They actually are little music notes with animations. So they have been added. There is a lot of particle work done on Magenta Rhythm.
Yeah.
That you could show off. That's probably also what the particle thing was. Rhythm! Every time you do a successful beat, you get that really big pulse with the music notes sort of things coming off. And there is just, if you stay idle, like just a little mini one that just follows Magenta Rhythm constantly. So
yeah,
still not done, but it's a lot more prettier than it was before. Yep. Like Magenta Rhythm actually has like particles to it now, so it just looks more interesting to look at. Oh god, it was like a week ago. I can barely remember yesterday.
You created the plug model, but we'll go over that whenever we actually go over the plug.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of the Ivory Lightning stuff.
Ivory Lightning can actually do shit now.
Yeah, because we did sound effects for Ivory Lightning and that as well. Like, I actually figured out where I could fetch some sound effects for Ivory Lightning and stuff like that. But I think, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else that I did.
So
There's that for Rocket, but I guess you'll show that in a second as well.
So Ivory Lightning can now interact with objects. We're gonna plan. We have 3 objects planned, but only 2 of them are done. We have a plug that when Ivory Lightning overlaps with, he will attach to, and you can dispense energy into the plug to activate a trigger. And then we have the
lightning rods.
Yeah, the lightning rods that lightning can home attack onto and then rotate around and launch off of. So lightning! You can home attack onto this here, and you'll attach to it. If you jump off, you can detach from it, obviously. But whenever you do attach to that, you can hold the attack button and drain Wisp energy. And if you have enough Wisp energy to charge up the plug will activate and cause a trigger to, you know.
Yeah, causes a switch event.
Yeah, it causes a switch event. And the plugs basically act the same way as any other trigger does. So things like the switches or the enemy tracking things, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The ones that track how many enemies are in
an area and stuff like that.
Yeah, the combat zone, stuff like that. So these function exactly the same way as pretty much any other switch object does. It's just it requires Ivory Lightning to interact with it and have the energy to charge it. Then there's the spires here. That whenever you home attack, you'll rotate around and then you can jump off of them. Very much like
cool.
Lost World on 3DS. And another thing, just to give Ivory Lightning additional functionality, we gave Ivory Lightning a little dash move that you can use 3 times in a row before it goes on a cooldown, or if you use it without activating the other ones, it will go on another cooldown. The 3rd dash in a row is the longest dash. So if I do 3 in a row, that 3rd dash is actually longer than the first 2. So it's kind of like a little bonus dash.
Yeah, and it's depending on which way Ivory Lightning is facing.
Yep.
Just like if you're going up a ramp, you'll dash up the ramp. But as soon as he starts pitching his his body down, he'll start falling.
So Ivory Lightning has more functionality to him now.
What doesn't it recharge as well if you touch the lightning thrower?
Yes,
or
it
does
does.
it just launch you? Yeah. We have
So, similarly to Red Burst, if you overlap with an electrical vent with lightning, it'll actually recharge your energy and launch you. Like so. It'll give you all of your energy back. And if we do the same thing but with Red Burst.
Oh.
Yeah,
particles.
All the particles are uncompiled for some reason. You regain energy and you get launched, which we showed off before a little while ago.
Yes.
So, how's it going, Seth?
Just thinking if there's anything else. Hello. I mean, it's just the orange rocket mesh that I made that I can think of, and then importing like the swing pole. I think that's all I've done.
How's the rebrand thing? That we'll discuss that later. So the lightning rods, what you can do with them is that little launch arrow will be the direction of the launch. You can change the pitch of it. That way you can launch at a different angle or whatever angle you want to. And obviously there's the launch power that you can then increase. It basically works and functions the same way that springs do. The only difference is you can dynamically set the launch angle. So Having them rotated like this way or that way doesn't really matter. It doesn't change much of anything. The arrow can only be pitched in a specific direction, so it doesn't really, having the mesh rotated doesn't really change anything. The plug, like I said earlier, can affect multiple actors or any actor because it essentially functions the exact same way as buttons do.
Yes.
Where did you put the button? Oh yeah, these here.
Over there.
So
Did we have the ground buttons last week? Last 2 weeks ago? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Did we show them off?
Yep. Another thing we have added is the, what we call the Rocket Sling. And I can go ahead and show that off here.
Yep, a completely custom-made mesh because when we searched for images in freaking, what you call it?
The mesh was very boring. Or it wasn't even a mesh, it was right.
It was literally... No freaking hell, I actually haven't seen it where you can go around it several times.
Yep, that's this feature me and Emmanuel worked on. So the Rocket Sling is essentially a... Well, it's a sling.
A redirector.
Yeah.
I was muted this entire time. I was saying this one was fun to work on.
Yeah, you've been muted this whole time.
Wow, Manuel.
So essentially, you can place these things out at any rotation you want, and as long as Orange Rocket overlaps with this trigger right here, it will be attached to the sling, and then you can set a rotation amount, as well as the amount of times you want it to loop. And it will then, once obviously Rocket is overlapped with it, it will then rotate the amount of times you want it to, and then rotate up to the rotation in degrees that you wish, and it will then launch Rocket at that angle. So this first one is set to rotate a number of 1 cycles, so it will do 1 full 360 rotation, but its target rotation is 90, so it will do 1 full 360 rotation, and then it will then rotate 90 degrees. I need to cap this float, that way it can't get higher than 360.
We may also want to find, either we want to enable it to also rotate backwards or clamp that too, but yeah.
Yeah. So this one here is set to rotate 3 times, but its target rotation is 270 degrees. So it'll rotate 360 degrees 3 full times. So 1, 2, 3, and then it will rotate 270 degrees from its base rotation, which is right here. And then it will then launch the rocket in the direction that the arrow is facing at that time. So if this rotates 90 degrees, it will essentially just rotate 90 degrees upward. The arrow will then be pointing in that direction, in which case it just launches Rocket over to this one, and so on and so forth. So the Rocket Sling is essentially a neat little item to help expand the functionality of Orange Rocket. Rather than it just being a singular up direction wisp, you can use these Rocket Slings to make it a little bit more diverse. Whoop. One thing you also probably noticed is you can also tell it to give Rocket some energy after launching it. And you can also change the rotation rate, meaning how fast it rotates. So this one is set to rotate at a rate of 7, and this one is set to rotate at a rate of 10. And you probably noticed it. This one rotated slower, and this one rotated faster because the rotation rate was increased. You can also change the reset speed, so after it's been used, it'll rotate back to its default rotation, and you can set how fast it takes to do that. So yeah, I actually really like these items, and of course Reese made this mesh, and it actually looks really cool.
Yep,
it's very satisfying to look at.
Took a little while to make, but it's it looks much better than what it does in Sonic Colors 3D. I keep saying 3D.
Sonic Colors DS.
Sonic Colors DS. It looks much better in that than that game.
So, yep. I like the Rocket Slings. They're probably one of my favorite items I've ever worked on. Just due to their functionality. So, kind of wonder what people will do with these if people end up using them. Because they do expand what Rocket can do, obviously, so we will have to see. Let's see here. The next thing we can show off. What is that ping? Oh.
One minute.
Let's see here. Next thing we worked on. I guess we could go ahead and talk about this. Emmanuel added the ability to jump while on lock splines. Properly.
Oh yeah, that.
I mean, you did it before, but it works better now.
Okay, yeah. Well, actually, no, I didn't do it before. You're talking about the cart stuff, I think, technically. And it doesn't really matter. I'll talk about it. 1 second to sort shit out. Okay. What the hell? Oh, I didn't. I tabbed back into your. I tabbed back to your screen, and I for a second I thought like you were on the floor. I was like, "Why is the camera like that?" Okay.
It's Sonic 4.
Yes, Sonic 4. So essentially, if you notice, we're in those red splines, which kind of like lock you to a certain place. And I made so now, for one, they kind of like lock you. For one, if you enter these red splines now, you now have the option to make it so that you can just essentially be stuck onto the splines whatever kind of rotation they're at. So if you're running along a wall, your gravity will be set to that wall. So if you notice, he didn't fall off because his gravity is now pretty much towards that wall. And on top of that, as you notice, he can jump on that wall too, meaning that he will jump. It's kind of like the gravity switching from like Mario Galaxy or SA2. So the gravity is now set to act like you're running on that wall. That's where the gravity is. So you can jump away from the wall and you'll get pulled back towards it.
Why do we do that? This is entirely for automated splines. Like, this isn't something you can do normally. Like, if I walked up here, I would just fall. This is an automated spline thing. It only works because it's on an automated spline. This has nothing to do with Sonic's base movement.
Yes. Also, this isn't something like... We're adding this in because we want people to have the option. Like, in case people want this, we're not trying to make Sonic 06, but we do want people to have, like, the options. Like, okay, during this section, I want Sonic to... Because you never know. There may be an auto-running section or just something. We want people to have the option. And, like, I think it's a neat, sort of complicated feature I wouldn't expect, like, people to just easily make. So I thought to make it myself. It was a nice little coding challenge.
It's very neat.
Yeah, very cool.
If you jump... Splines. No, you go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Okay, my bad. So also, if you notice the green spline over here, the cart spline has a similar function, and this was added beforehand, where if you jump while on them, it will like actually like pull you back in. That was added beforehand. Not much has changed about it. It's just more so we should announce this. We're actually going to probably combine these two splines into one spline type. Because right now the cart spline and the lock splines are very similar, except that the cart spline is just like the red spline, but just more automation. So
yeah, the idea of the cart spline is like once you enter into it, I'm not moving. This is the spline moving the character. It's full automation. Versus the red spline is more like assisted automation. Like it snaps me and it moves me along the spline, but I have still full control of Sonic. Well, not full control, but I have control of Sonic's forward and backward movement.
Yes. It's kind of like think of it kind of like the difference between like Star Fox. Shit, what's the other one? Never mind. You see what we're trying to talk about. I think that's good enough as an explanation. By the way, the red splines are also used for 2D sections.
The pulling a zipline. We've not really worked on those any at all. We've not really worked on the pulley or zipline at all. I mean, the pulley is still a pulley. It's basically as functional as it always been. So
yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
Still needs the camera to not lag as much, but I'll do that eventually.
Need the proper animation, but we're not working on animation work until we can get the models replaced.
I know.
I honestly forgot about that.
Once the models are replaced, then we can properly animate. But yeah. And Manuel is working on something else with the splines right now as well.
Yeah, the only other thing I can think to note about the splines, I think we went over this before, but if you jump into, like, for instance, that car spline, if you jump into it, it will actually, like, keep your jump kind of as you fall into it.
Yep.
Because beforehand, it will still snap you to the ground. So this is like, for instance, let's say you have like an automated 2D section that runs you forward normally, you jump into it, and now it will be much smoother in that case. So that's the main thing.
Are we replacing all the models or just some? We are replacing Sonic's model, but the model we're replacing it with doesn't have the same bone structure as one that we're using right now. Meaning when we replace Sonic's model, everyone else's shit's gonna break. So it's gonna be a process.
It won't break everyone else.
Are you sure?
Because their animations have already been made and retargeted. It will not break those.
They have separate animations, essentially.
Yeah, but still, I'm planning on replacing the other models with the newer models that have the fixed, in quotation marks, bone structures.
So the one here on the left one we're using, we're going to swap to the one on the right. And Sonic will properly be scaled. Which will actually be weird when I think about it. Sonic's going to be smaller.
Small. It will actually be weird.
How's it going, Sparkly Jim? How you doing?
If you really want to, you could show the pole, even though it's not exactly up to snuff.
Before we do that, Reese, is the cannon that you put in this circle the one that I made?
Yes.
Okay. So we add a new feature to...
That is the one that you're thinking of, yep.
We added a new feature to the cannons. The cannons now have a cycle mode.
What? I haven't seen this one.
Been there for a while, man.
Yeah, we're doing that right after we ended last stream. So the cannons can now have multiple points of launch trajectories, and it will launch, or it will cycle through them. The player can then try and aim at one or the other. You can have as many as you want. We only have 3 right now, but you can have as many as you would like. And each individual one has its own arc. Like, you can modify the arc for any individual one. So, for example, this first arc, the one here on the right, is it's attached to cyclist 0. This is 0. If I changed arc 0, it would be like, like 0.9. Where you draw the debug, you can see the arc has changed. 5 again. So you can actually add as many of these as you want. So if I create another one and like did this here or whatever, 0.5. Yeah, you can see it's got a whole, like a 4th cannon cycle location. You can also set how long it takes for it to cycle between them. So the cycle wait delay, I have it set to 3 seconds, so I can change it to 1 second, so it's faster. If I hopped in here. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. And now it's cycled to the 4th one, and it's going to cycle back around to our first original one. So yeah. That was a thing I wanted to do a long while ago, and then we kind of just got busy with other things, and I'm like, you know what, I want to add this real quick, so I did. All you got to do to activate it is just turn this is cyclone mode variable on. If it's turned off, it will use the original like default launch destination, and the debug draw thing will change. So if I hit draw debug, you can see it's arcing towards the base launch destination, but if I turn cycle mode on and I draw the debug, it'll draw the debug for all the cycle locations. If I turn that off and then go and I play, hop back in, it will just cycle towards that one and shoot me towards it. The main thing is if you have cycle mode on, then automatic launch has to be turned off. I think if you try to turn automatic launch on and cycle mode on at the same time, it'll disable automatic launch, meaning the cannon has to be manually launched. You have to actively launch the player whenever they enter into it. So, because it would kind of defeat the purpose if it reached its first cycle and then just launched the player, you know, like immediately. Yeah. So manual launch has to be, or automatic launch has to be disabled. Like Heroes, yeah, kind of like Heroes.
Yeah, it can. If, and this is big, if we ever do some multiple characters, maybe it'll be used for, but don't hold your breath on that.
What did you miss? A lot of stuff. We can go over everything again once we're done. So, yep, that's another feature added to the cannons. One last thing that we've worked on. You probably noticed it in the background while I was doing shit. We have the swing pole, but it's broken. The swing pole. It's got
its snapped.
Yeah, the swing pole is a little broken at the moment. It technically functions. It just doesn't function how we want it to. It does the same thing that all the others with a pre-calculated style does. You can create a pre-calculated launch trajectory, or if you don't want it to, you can disable is pre-calculated. And instead of doing that, what it will do is it will launch you based on this arrow. And you can change the arrow pitch right here, like so. There is so many different options. There's a launch strength success and a launch strength failure. That's dependent on whether or not pre-calculated is off. If you have pre-calculated on, if you succeed in launching it, it will launch you in the success location, but if you fail, it'll launch you towards the fail location instead.
Failure.
You can also have custom arcs for failure and succession, succeeding, whatever. And the timer is yet to be finished. This is kind of just an in-place momentary timer. But essentially, once you overlap with this, it enables a timer that counts from 1 to 100, and you can set a range in which success is possible, in which case 35 is the minimum, 65 is the maximum. So if you press the jump button anywhere between the timer being between these two numbers, then it will succeed. Anywhere else, it will fail. But the main problem is right now, it launches you in the wrong direction, and I can't for the life of me figure out why.
I think I almost figured it out, by the way.
Everything is reversed for some fucking reason.
Like at home manual's just like, I think I've already figured it out.
Yeah, I tried figuring it out, but this has been a very long 2 weeks. So you can see on the top left, there's a false and true cycling. If I launch during the false, it will send me down along the failure arc right here.
Send you straight to hell.
Yep. But if I had succeeded, it would launch me along the success arc right there. Animations are broken. The animations are just not in. We're not going to be working on the animations for a little while. If I launched during the true, you can see it launched me higher along the succeed path. The true ending. I got the true ending. There it was.
Nice. If you want, this is only if you want, I could tell you how to fix it right now. But it's like, I'll just pull up the code. Okay. Go to the calculation part and draw debug so far.
So what?
Go to draw debug real quick. I'll show you how to fix it for the debug thing. What you want to do is drag, get the actor transform.
Wait, this actor's transform?
Yeah, just the active transform. Get that node.
Okay.
All right. Drag off of it and type in transform location. Yeah, that one. Yeah. And plug in location, plug in a launch destination success thing. All right. And plug the output into the in position for suggest projectile custom arc. And you can also plug into that debug, draw
You
debug
mean just
point, the
plug
yellow
it into
one.
this here?
No, plug it directly into in position.
Okay.
Yeah. You can also plug it into that little yellow, the position for the yellow draw debug point. Right before the projectile path trace thing.
I mean here?
Go further right, then up. A bit further.
You trying to just plug it directly into here, or?
The draw debug point one, the yellow one.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah. Also, for the start position, for predict projectile path, just plug in the location of the arrow. If that's not already plugged in.
Yeah, it's already plugged in.
Okay, and also, one quick thing. Oh, never mind, it works.
Why does that... Why?
So, okay, for anyone wondering, rotations and locations get screwy when you're going from local position to world position. The reason why it fucks up is because these nodes we're referencing, the launch destination fail, they're like widgets in the world. Like Fizz can show you in a bit. Like those are widgets you can move around in the world. But the problem is that there's still the vectors that they will show is like the local vector relative to like this swing pole. And the problem is that changes if you change the rotation. Like that gets fucked up when you change the rotation of the swing pole. So if you rotate the swing pole a certain amount of degrees, that messes up the calculation because you're not properly going from local to world rotation unless you use that node we're using right here. It's a bit silly.
But if the local to world rotation and stuff was the problem, why didn't we just take the arrow's location?
Because the arrow is also different from like it's weird because from what I can tell, this is from trial errors. I can't tell you exactly why, but it seems like the arrow won't give you the right one because the arrow is also offset from like where the it's offset from the main rotation of the actor. So it's better to use the actor's transform, and for some reason that fixes it.
Yep, there we go.
Because I tried it with the arrow one and it didn't work. So bazinga.
Bazinga.
If you want, you can like
there we go.
rotate. You can rotate the pole or whatnot just to stress test it or rotate. The arrow won't rotate. I can't get the arrow to rotate because it's fixed, but it seems to work.
Yeah, the arrow is has a fixed rotation. So if I were to like stick it here instead or whatever,
And draw it, it should work. Okay. Actually, one thing I do want to try. Try having the location be like to the left or right of the swing pole. Let's see if that works. That could maybe mess it up.
say what?
The destination, have it be to the left, move it to the left or right.
Like over here?
Yeah. See if that messes it up. No?
Nope, doesn't seem to.
Okay. I think I just privatized world peace.
Yep, and it launches me correctly, so... What do you know? Now the swing pole works. We just gotta get it to function.
That'll be $50.
Or not to function. We just gotta get to look pretty and get the timer to work a little better.
That'll be $50.
We can also
That
probably
is-
add in like a camera function so that the camera can look at a certain position or something when you're there, you know?
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, you know. We also need to figure out how to add in some sort of UI or something so that you can see like, you know, like a generation, see like where the character is.
Oh, we have that. It's just not in this here.
Oh.
Although, for some reason, it's not a UI, it's a skeletal mesh.
Oh, well, same difference. We got to get to work.
Well, I'm confused as to why it's a skeletal mesh, though.
That's just the way it was exported and imported.
Which one's skeletal mesh? Sorry.
The
Indicator.
indicator. Why is it a skeletal mesh?
It's just how it came.
Oh. I don't know where you put this at.
Well, you click Control B.
There we go. Yeah, this indicator, the gauge, is a skeletal mesh for some reason.
Yeah. I think it's just it was part of the mesh.
That actually explains a lot, because if you're importing it, that's just how it's going to come.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, we'll have to turn it into like a widget or something.
Yeah, probably, because you don't want it to be overshadowed by something.
So yeah, that's the other thing, and it works now, so, But, Crit has been cast as Garfield in an animated Garfield movie. Is that why he was trending?
Wait, are you kidding me?
Is that why Chris Pratt was trending?
I'm going in.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool. Kill me.
What the hell?
Is that the
I think
case?
I'm going to have to disappear though because I have work.
Alrighty, I'm gonna use restroom here in a minute.
Yes, I don't think there is anything else that I did to show off.
I'm so cool.
No, I can't off the top of my head. If there is something, I guess you'll come across it in your own time.
Fuck off, Odie, I'm so cool.
The major things I contributed, I've already shown off.
Chris Pratt when he voices Mario, Garfield, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, and Winnie the Pooh.
I'm so cool. What is
He's
this?
so cool. Your mom.
Oh, it's a post-processing volume. Okay.
Your mom's a post-processing volume.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's just about it. So you heading off then?
Yeah, I'm a disappear. I need to go get rest. I has work.
You should osmosis out of here. I'll see you later.
What? Don't know any more. Review the manual. Right. Anyway, I'm a go now. I will see you all later.
Chris Pratt to voice Garfield in your animated feature.
Look at the replies.
Kill me.
I won't do that.
For now.
See you later.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
I would be surprised if Chris Pratt voices Shadow next. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie 3, Chris Pratt voices Shadow. Are we reviewing?
He accidentally goes Wahoo.
Wahoo.
It's like shit, we're on person.
It's me, Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, we can go ahead and review real quick. So, we have added little particles for the Crimson Eagle dash ring.
Yeah, make sure you take notes, by the way. This will be on the test.
We have added functionality to Ivory Lightning. It actually has a function now. I can do shit. The lightning rods can be home attacked and launched from and with Ivory Lightning. We need to add a damage component so that if any player character tries to overlap with any of these Ivory Lightning objects, they take damage.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. So you can only traverse through some sections, for instance, if you're Ivory.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is in Lost World. If Sonic tries to overlap with any of Ivory Lightning's objects, he'll take damage. Unless he's wearing an electric shield, so...
That's cool.
Yep. The plug acts as a switch or a button that whenever overlapped with Ivory Lightning can dedicate energy to charging it, and at full charge, it will then activate a trigger to any objects it's connected to.
The plug.
Similarly to any switch or button, like so. Stuff like that. So it literally uses the same system as switches or triggers or things like that. It's just it requires Ivory Lightning.
Yeah.
There has been some particle work done, I think, with the Magenta Rhythm notes. Apparently, I did work with the Magenta Rhythm notes, but I couldn't tell you what the fuck I did with them. The orange rocket has a new object called the Rocket Sling, which can rotate and pivot orange rocket.
Pretty cool.
You can set a maximum number of cycles, the amount of times it'll rotate 360 degrees before it rotates its target rotation. So this one will rotate 360 degrees once, and then 90 degrees based on its target rotation. And you can also set its rotation rate and how much energy it gives orange rocket. So for example, this one is set to rotate 3 times, so it'll rotate 360 degrees 3 times before finally rotating 270 degrees and giving orange rocket 10 energy. But it also rotates slightly faster than the other one, so orange rocket now has more functionality.
Wahoo.
Wahoo. Crates can take damage now. That's about it.
That's all. It's very basic. Don't ask me.
Yeah. They kind of just blip out of existence when they get destroyed, so they don't look like brilliant or anything like that. It's just they blip out of existence. You can jump on these splines.
And walk up them if you turn it. We'll just show you.
Yep.
You can 06 the splines. If you turn it on, it's not how they are all the time.
So you can jump
in his
on
world.
Yep.
I like how like you go to Sonic 4. I always go to Sonic 06 when we think of this.
Same things with the cart splines. You can jump on cart splines as well, no matter what angle they are set to. Cannons.
You reference Sonic 4. I reference Sonic 06. We are not the same.
We are not the same. I like the one I did earlier. I play Sonic Adventure 1. You play Sonic Adventure 2. We are not the same.
Not the same. What if we play both?
Cannons now have a cycle system. They can cycle through. Helps if I turn it on.
Probably.
Cycle mode. Cannons can now cycle through a list of destinations.
It's pretty cool.
Like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Swing poles, we were just discussing that. Whee.
You messed it up.
I did. I failed. Magenta Rhythm has some new praticals.
Rhythm!
Chris Praticals.
Chris praticals.
Dun, 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 boom, dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 dun, dun.
So there's that. There's not really a whole lot else that we have done. Oh, we fixed that bug where Sonic randomly shrinks. We think
That's an old bug.
We think we fixed the bug where Sonic will randomly shrink whenever entering or exiting a loading zone. So that bug that I think you posted earlier. Someone posted earlier. We think we fixed that one. Where Sonic will randomly shrink. It had to do with falling on scaled objects and then leaving and re-entering loading zones and stuff like that. It would.
Oh man.
It would inherit that scale for some reason.
It was my favorite bug. I will miss it.
Yeah. It gave us Wide Omega. Went for the exact same thing. So yeah, was there anything else we missed?
I'm Tails now.
Yeah. Does not appear so. Not so.
No. We have other things we're going to work on, but this is what we have so far to show to people.
To be fair, it's more than last dev stream.
To be fair, yeah, that's true.
This is more than last dev stream. Yeah, I saw
Somehow.
the DMs, Fabio. We will more than likely handle ripping those assets ourselves, because we're going to need to do it from, I think it's Generations or something. I don't remember.
Reach will handle it at some point.
We'll handle those things ourselves. I mean, thank you, but we'll handle it whenever we're ready to handle it.
Yeah, no, we're not saying we don't appreciate the help. We just have our way of doing things.
Especially when it comes to animation work. Animation work is kind of one of those antsy things.
Yeah, of course. If anyone wants to volunteer to, to do animations for us, we will happily take that.
Like actually,
that's
make
one
animations,
thing
not rip animations. We have our sources to rip animations.
Yeah, but custom
like making animations.
Yes, make and bake. Roll us too.
Make and bake.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby.
That's the name. That's actually the name of the engine now. If you're wondering.
Shake and bake.
And bake.
No more shake and bake. It's Magic Man.
That's Magic Man now.
And El Diablo. El Diablo, that's so cool. Is it Spanish? It's like Spanish for fine chicken. Really, with the claws and the talons? Yeah. I love Will Ferrell movies. It's so fucking stupid.
Watch Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights hilarious. It's stupid, but it's hilarious. But that's how most Will Ferrell movies are.
Yeah, Will Ferrell it's kind of like you know that dumb meme where Far Cry 6, right? And like the main villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like that meme where he's smiling and then he's all serious. Like him smiling is Will Ferrell and him not smiling all serious. That's Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Will Ferrell is what Adam Sandler wishes he could be. Sorry, Adam Sandler. Sorry, man. It's just not your day.
Insert Vine boom sound. Adam Sandler. Boom. Oh yeah, by the way, in case anyone wasn't here or hadn't seen in the Discord, I did upload a new demo. And proceeded to tell no one for 3 days. I didn't even tell my team. I told literally no one that I uploaded a new demo. I didn't know. I neglected to tell Emmanuel and Reese. I'm like, oh, I should upload a new demo for Halloween. I'm sure people would like that. And then I did it the day before Halloween, and then I proceeded to tell no one. Because...
We're not the same people.
We are not the same.
See, I do the opposite. I say I'm going to add a feature, then I don't add it. I'm going to push. Eventually.
You see, Emmanuel. You say you're going to add a feature and then you don't. Well, I say I'm going to add a feature and it doesn't fucking work. We are not the same.
Same.
Yeah. I've had a very busy 2 weeks. These past 2 weeks have been.
Yeah, we've been having lives.
Oh. What's worse is the next week is probably going to be busier because Eternals comes out. This is just not going to be a very fun weekend. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Can't wait.
It's not going to be the best day ever.
Can't wait to get called a Nazi for the 50 millionth time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Kyle Heigl.
God damn it.
I'm not sure if I could say the H word on Twitch. I don't know the rules yet.
Probably not. I'd prefer not to. We've not really gone anywhere with the rebrand, unfortunately. We are wanting to here soon, but there's a couple other things I want to get done first. I want to try and get a couple more of these stage objects finished, because we want to finish up this swing pole a little bit better, and we want to get this fan working if we can.
There's a bunch of other things I want to get done too.
The only other thing I want to try and get functioning is a grind whale, grind whale, a grind whale for ivory whitening.
Honestly, you could have slurred that better if you tried.
A grind rail for ivory lightning, because ivory lightning has its own grind rail.
Nice. We could probably just maybe. Do you think it would be easier just to add an enum to the existing grind rail and just make it so that Irene can use it, or do you think it's better to make a new blueprint?
I've already made a new blueprint, but if you think it would be easier to do it the other way, we can. I've not done anything with the blueprint. I created it because it's essentially just a duplicate of the other rail, or the grind rail duplicate, but I cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff that requires references to the main character. Like the
that's fair.
character. Because we would have to adapt to the existing grind rail to be a Ivory Lightning grinding rail, and we can do that, and that would probably save space because it's one less actor in the memory. So in theory, it would probably be the better of the two options, but I don't know.
You'll figure it out, or die trying.
But yeah, those are the three things I'm wanting to work on. Try and get a grind rail for Ivory Lightning. Finish up the work on the swing pole. I don't know if I'm going to touch the fan at all. Like, I don't know if I even want to mess with the fan.
I could maybe look at it.
But
yeah, it involves physics, and I like physics.
Other than that, I will probably get back to cleaning up objects. And
ignoring the master character.
Yeah, in the meantime, while I'm cleaning up objects, we can probably start prototyping stuff for the new rebrand.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool, guys.
Like Chris Pratt.
Like Chris Pratt.
So
I do like
Don't say
like
Chris
there are
Pratt is Mario.
I was gonna say I do have some like I'm not sure if I'm going to talk to you about today, but I do actually have some other tangential ideas I want to work on eventually. Just right now, I'm just so far down a spline rabbit hole that I don't want to mess with other things right now.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the work you're doing with the splines. I think it's fine. It's stuff we wanted to get done anyway, so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Don't say it. That wasn't for you. I had to tell myself not to say it. I was telling myself, don't say it. Anytime someone says it's cool, I feel a gut instinct to say it for some reason.
I think that's pretty cool.
God damn it.
Are you frying chicken in there?
That's pretty cool.
Chris Pratt's frying chicken in there. I think that's pretty cool. Guys, just don't even try to ask what we're referencing. There's like 3 levels of references. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus. This is what it's like working with Emmanuel.
What?
It's also what it's like working with me.
What? Are you saying Fizz plus anybody and or Fizz plus, Emmanuel plus anything equals this? So Fizz plus Emmanuel just equals double ass.
So cool.
Shut up. That's the first time I told you to shut up. You gotta stop. It's a problem. You have a condition.
I found a bug somehow. I teleported somewhere else. That's a bug we've not heard of in a long time. I've not heard of a bug like that since we released 3 of Knuckles and Chum Zone teleported halfway across.
I haven't heard of that bug since the Sonic Boom. It's just a bite of 97.
Is that the bite of 97? Is that the bite of 87?
Sparkly, sure it wasn't a misinput.
There's a miss. Yeah, we just have a button that teleports you to a random location. that would be a funny April Fool's prank. Like have a button that if you press, it will just teleport you to a random location in the level.
Make all the Waza keys do it. Misinput.
It was a misinput. It was a misinput. You calm the fuck down.
Goddamn critical. Why do you have to keep being hilarious all the time?
Your computer is a bug. Oh.
Your misinput was playing the game. Bazinga.
Bazinga.
God damn it.
I don't know what's funny about that. It's like someone just adding Bazinga into a random conversation.
I think because it kind of highlights how
Context.
unfunny Bazinga actually is, to the point where you just say it with no passion, and that makes it funny.
I thought Bazinga was funny, but I was also
You shut the fuck.
younger.
I mean,
Shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
this. By the way, if you're wondering, the dev streams are definitely rated R for lots of fucking cursing. Do not use the thing that makes Fizz not curse, because we will explode.
It's rated R for we really don't know what we're doing.
I'm not like most girls. I'm bad at everything.
Pig. Piguin.
Pingus.
Pingus.
Wait.
God damn it.
Wait, what?
I smell pingus.
What?
You never heard the I smell pennies meme?
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, how was everyone's Halloween? Mine was kind of uneventful.
I worked.
Not say it was a
Halloween,
bad.
So.
Oof.
I did get. Okay, this wasn't yesterday. It was actually the
Oh, you
day
got it
before.
raised?
Well, yeah, I got it raised, but the day before there was like a whole group of. I want to say they're probably about my age, so they're like younger adults. There's a whole group of people come in dressed as, the characters from Class A from My Hero Academia. Because we're showing them. Because my location's showing the My Hero movie, like the new My Hero.
Oh
Academia
yeah,
movie.
that movie.
No, it's actually really good. I watched it last night. It's a pretty good movie.
Can you share?
Yeah, sure what?
Movie?
Movie.
Just give me the movie.
Give movie. Gib. But like I had a whole group of adults walking in cosplaying as characters.
Deku, you dang nerd.
Damn nerd. Do you watch My Hero?
I'm not caught up. The last time I watched was when Deku punched the shit out of Overdrive or whatever his face is in anime, with the kid strapped to his back.
I thought that's like quite a long while ago.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
stopped
season
watching.
3.
What season is it now? Like season 4 or 5?
I think they just finished season 5.
Goddamn. I know the bunny girl is in, and everyone's thirsting over her. But everyone, I mean probably just me. But anyway.
And not everyone. What was her name? Miraku or something? My Halloween was mixed since COVID is still going around. I see.
Her superpower is just being thick. I think that's her that's her quirk.
It's her quirk being thick.
Well, actually, not being thick, being toned, because there's this difference. Like shape and thickness are two different things. You can be too thick and have no shape, and you just look like Kim Kardashian, who just looks like she has a diaper strapped to her.
Your Halloween was shit. I'm pretty sure a lot of people's Halloween was shit, more than likely.
Halloween's not even a real holiday.
Wow, Emmanuel, I can't believe you just said that to someone who doesn't care about Halloween.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to your mom. Oh, got him.
Reese gave Charles his own little platform.
You didn't notice?
I did not notice that.
We just fill up enemies. He has to fight to the death. It's like it's like a gladiator style combat pit.
He's on an island all by himself, like a fucking Tom Hanks in Castaway.
What?
I already said this.
What was this bug?
I saw it. It has to do with the drill, I think. Unless it was a different one.
Yeah, that problem with drill involves the fact that
Oh, this one's different. I can hear my own voice in this bug report. It's weird.
yeah. The problem with drill in that clip is the fact that if you're in a 2D section and you use drill, it'll deactivate itself if you overlap with anything that isn't dirt. But the thing is collision checks often don't recognize geometry whenever they overlap with geometry, so it didn't know to.
This other one is even weird. I know what's causing it roughly.
I'm looking at it right now. Wait, hold on, what happened?
If I had to guess, he did a he charged up a homing attack while also trying to do a
Dodge at the same time.
dodge. He also, if he knows, I think he tried to do the I can't think of the move right now. The plank, not the plank.
The homing wrecker?
No, the thing like the thing where you attach to the character when you
the perch.
Perch, yeah. It seems like he tried to perch, and maybe it just didn't know what to do, so it just teleported him to 000.
More than likely.
Because that's the only like homing attack that directly just tells you to go somewhere, like that. The rest of the homing attacks kind of break if the enemy's not there. Yeah, I could tell because that spinning animation is what Sonic does as he's interpolating, as he's trying to get to the enemy, and for some reason he invalidated the enemy's position while doing the perch, and it didn't know what to do. That's just me. We're going to go over their homing attack code anyway, so eventually, that's probably going to get looked at and fixed. And the perch probably going to get changed a lot.
You can actually see him play the perch animation.
Yeah, when he's spinning around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened though, because like the enemy is not destroyed; he just doesn't go to it for some reason.
If I had to guess, it looked like he was taking damage the same time he tried to perch, so it probably tried to launch the player and attach the player at the same time.
Yeah, that or like what could happen is that the homing attack code stopped, but it didn't stop that specific section, maybe, that attaches you. So the homing attack stopped, but you still try to perch, and it didn't have a valid target at that point.
Yeah, that could be the case. There's a lot of ways it could have gone wrong.
Hence why we're going over the code, because we need to make it more consistent. There's some other things we just need to refactor in general, like changing the timeline to a timer, a bunch of stuff. So thank you for your submission.
Yeah, the timeline is meant to be changed to a timer. More than likely what's going to happen is if you perch onto an enemy during the animation in which you're perching, you'll probably be invincible, meaning you can't take damage.
Yeah, because you already got to the enemy. There's no point in like punishing you at that point.
Yeah. And enemies who shoot at you should probably get like a aim debuff or something like that. They could still potentially hit you, but they probably shouldn't.
And
like be able to pinpoint accurately shoot you off the enemy.
There's probably what we probably may want to do, because this thing I wanted to do originally, but I forgot to do, is make so that if you're perched on an enemy, like projectiles and attacks can hurt that enemy now. And if, they hit the enemy, you just get knocked off. It doesn't deal damage to you. So that will probably be what happens if a projectile hits you, because you'll be intangible probably. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But thank you for the submission. But I think that's it.
I don't think there's much of anything else to talk about. It was a kind of a short dev stream, but we had a lot to talk about. We just don't have a lot to talk about afterward. Unless anyone has any questions or concerns or anything like that, we can take questions for a little bit, but can't be too long because I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah, I have better things to do. I mean, yeah, what I said.
I gotta make piss.
Well, he was like, I can't talk right now.
I'm making
piss. Yeah. I saw that face he makes.
I can't stick around. I'm scheduled to make piss in here about 10 minutes. At work, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I said this in like the text channel or not, but at work, my manager and I have been quoting the fan dub nonstop for the past couple of days.
I didn't want to tell you, Tails. I didn't want to.
Past couple of days have just been fucking pissing on the moon. Put the piss rock down or I'll shoot Amy in the fucking face.
I mean, everyone wants to do that anyway.
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back.
Have you seen the new Undertale Eternal Montage video?
I did. It's not actually...
It's not super funny, but I do like the premise, which is that, like, Frisk is just dead.
Frisk is dead the entire time.
Like, he doesn't do anything. I think the funniest part for me was, like, just Metaton appears and starts dancing wildly for no reason. And just continues to dance, and then at the end he's like, "These readings!"
These readings.
He's just
What is Pink Spike doing here?
Shut up.
Shut up. Why do we have Pink Spike here, and then Pink Spike here?
We have
that's...
Fizz. Let's be honest. We have to have something for like one of those like behind boundaries videos they do. We have to have some. Yeah, we have to have something, or else we're not going to be interesting. We're not going to be relevant after 20 years.
After 20 years.
20 years where we literally do not give a shit anymore. But Unreal 69 has already come out. Actually, no. It'll probably be like Unreal 10 at this rate.
What, 2069?
Yeah.
Nah, that's probably going to be closer to like Unreal 7, maybe Unreal 8.
Mm.
Alright,
What was the joke?
I don't know.
I'm trying to. You keep going.
I was gonna close things up here unless you had anything else you wanted to add.
No, I'm good. I was trying to think of a joke.
No. All right. Well, Emmanuel's doing some spline work that will probably show off next time. Hopefully, next time we can get more of the objects cleaned up and finished up a little bit better. The swing pole, Ivory Lightning, grind round, stuff like that. Do some code cleanup. Who knows what Reese will do?
Find out next episode.
Every time Reese like pushes changes or discusses things he's been working on, it's always something different every single time. So, which isn't a bad thing because he does get stuff done that we need to get done.
He puts his changes. I'm kidding.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So, thank you everybody who joined in. Our next dev stream will be the 15th. This will be uploaded on YouTube on the 8th. I will not be available for the dev stream on the 29th, so the next dev stream will be like I'll be here, but I won't be there for the one on the 29th because I will be visiting family. Although I might hop on call for a little bit depending on what's going on. But and then we have another dev stream on the 13th. And we might do a dev stream on the 27th. Who knows? Because that's right after Christmas. People might be busy.
Yeah, I may actually like not even be in state depending on what's going on. So
gonna do another stream later. I might do another stream later on tonight. Yeah, haven't decided yet. I've only got like today off and tomorrow off. I don't have the normal amount of days off that I do. I'm actually working a lot this week.
Yeah, I can relate. Like, you know, working on project's cool, but like when you don't have as much free time, you do want to do other things too.
But with that, I think we are gonna head off for now. We'll see everybody next time, and we hope you all have a good day.
All right, see y'all. Thanks for coming.